What's up, Lana? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so great. I'm very stoked to tell you this little tidbit about my life. So every Sunday, my fiance and I, we are cooking. We make tacos typically every Sunday, and we throw on an album to listen to in its entirety. And it's often your music. So thank you for making great taco making music. We really appreciate it.
Come on. That's so freaking cute. Do you know, on my way back home, I just stopped at this little drive-through taco place, and I met, like, the cutest guy who's worked there for 50 years.
Aww.
And he's like, I love listening to your music while I'm cooking. So I got a double taco day.
Wow. So do you think Norman fucking Rockwell's a taco making album?
Apparently. But actually, yes, I do. Yeah.
What do you think is the perfect thing to do while listening to the new album, in your opinion? What's the vibe?
I think, like, maybe beach vibes.
Yeah.
Hanging out, sort of like waiting around vibes.
Par for the course as far as your music's concerned, basically. Just chill,
Pretty much.
summery.
Yeah.
I love it. What's the day before an album drop like for you?
It's different every time, but I don't know, ever since, I guess like a couple of days ago, I really started thinking about it for this week because we've got a couple fun little things we're doing, like out here in California, like some ice cream trucks and like listening sessions at Amoeba. So I don't know. It's definitely a lot. But sometimes it's not, sometimes I just give them the record and I don't know. Today I actually got to go down to my label at Interscope and we had a little ice cream truck out there. So
Nice.
I hung out for an hour. That was fun.
Just some ice cream, some new music. It's great. It's casual.
Yeah.
Take us through a day in the studio with Jack Antonoff and the crew. What was the process like with this one?
Some days I would come in with something fully formed, and some days Jack would have a couple of chords that he really wanted to play for me. And some days we had absolutely nothing going on, and we just would sit around and kind of work on stuff for him or just hang out. So it kind of depended on the day. But I guess when I met him, I wasn't really writing, and he played a few chords for me for a song that ended up being called Love Song. And I just realized, like, he's definitely the musician I've been waiting to meet. Because I wasn't sure if he was going to be super, if he was going to have one real style, but I feel like he can really kind of get into anybody's lane,
Yeah, the versatility that he's displayed and the chemistry you two have displayed on the songs thus far have been wild. I've watched a couple interviews where you talk about Jack and his chord game, and you just love how he works his chords. I was in band. I'm a geek, so I want to know what's your...
Really?
Yeah. Oh, Lana, we can get into it if you want to, but I want to know what your favorite chord is.
Favorite chord is E minor.
Okay.
Yes, or a regular E.
Really? I like the more like the G major 7. I want some dissonance in there. Like, it's kind of pensive. The more notes, the better in my book.
I like a G major 7. I like a D minor. I mean, it's got to be some kind of minor something.
I'll feel it. Now, in a similar vein, what is your favorite musical moment on the album that we should be looking out for?
I like that Venice Bitch is 10 minutes, so that's kind of fun. Let's see. I love the title track. I think that's got to be close to my favorite, the title track, Norman fucking Rockwell. I just think it's like a very cool melody and kind of funny, and I don't know.
Hey, don't forget, you kind of flexed on "Fuck It, I Love You" with the da na 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 na. Then it resolves to the pre-chorus. Yo, it's great.
Really?
Oh, it's fire.
My God, thank you so much. That's the song we were playing out of the ice cream truck, and it was going along with the mood quite swimmingly.
An immaculate vibe. So your music is timeless, right? It exists outside of trends and fads. When you hear a new fad or trend emerge, do you consciously go in the opposite direction, or is that just your gift?
No, I like, well, I mean, not all the time, but I like most of the stuff I hear that's new. I mean, to the point where I'd want my stuff to be more like that. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I try, to just kind of open up, or sometimes I don't, and it ends up sounding different depending on who I work with. I think just because so much of this stuff is just rooted in that singer-songwriter lane, it ends up having like a little bit more of a classic feel, but some of the stuff that I work on that I don't put out is a little weirder. I don't know.
You should release those. Just saying. But do societal and political events nowadays affect how you write songs?
Well, in the past, I would say politically it didn't influence my music all that much, although maybe like in terms of social commentary, there was always my own version of like just observing what was going on within the songs in a small way. But, you know, in the last few years, like with my last record, Lust for Life, and with this one, there's a few nods to just like, I don't know how I'd say it, the state of the nation, the state of
humanity.
The state of, like, yeah, the culture.
Yeah, as most art does, I guess.
Yes.
Do you have any Minnesota memories? Anything that stands out about our lovely state?
Hell yeah. So shout out to Minnesota. My brother has lived there for 4 years in Minneapolis. My baby, Charlie.
Wow.
Who is also an amazing artist. He's a director and a singer. And yeah, so anytime I'm out there, I mean, just go to the mall, go run around, find little bookshops. I'm there every now and then.
Can we go to a local coffee shop and talk some shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Here's a fun fact. My first boyfriend is from Minneapolis. We're still really good friends, and so are a handful of my best friends as well, because they all moved together from Minnesota to New York 15 years ago, and we're all in L.A. now.
You're one of us by proxy, basically.
I mean, I'm
wow.
just saying.
And then last question. You figure skated for 15 years. What song of yours do you think would make for the best figure skating routine?
Definitely Young and Beautiful.
Yeah. So graceful.
I've already thought about this. I'm like, should I? No.
Have you planned one? Would you? We know it gets cold here. There's icy lakes. Would you do it on the lake with us?
I would try. You know what? I will promise you that at some point in the next 7 months, I will get a miniature ice skating video in Minnesota. Even though my brother's going to move here.
Okay, that's a verbal agreement. That's binding. Hey, Lana, thank you so much for calling in. We are stoked for the album. Have an amazing night, all right?
Thank you so much.